Good afternoon from Oakville, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would take this video from this kitchen space that I'm in, and I thought that it was a wonderful background for this particular video, which you'll notice is about constipation. And you'll notice the full title is Constipation, What Are You Ingesting? And most of you who have known me for many years know that I probably haven't talked publicly in terms of my YouTube videos about constipation for quite a number of years, probably not since I was a naturopathic doctor. And today, most of you know that I work with grief recovery and brain retraining. So why would I be talking about constipation? So I can tell you that even during my naturopathic years, I would do my physical exams with clients on their first visits, and oftentimes I'd see that their colon was very full on an abdominal examination. And in those times, it was typical, I'll say, of this mind to use the humor of, well, clearly you're holding on to a lot of old crap. And it's humorous in truth too, because from a mental emotional perspective, which is what I also focused on as a naturopathic doctor, it is often people who hold on to things. So whether it's food that's not being released into the toilet, or whether it's emotions or feelings or thoughts or experiences. And so today's video is about this constipation. And you will probably know many people who do hold on to something, and sometimes with pride, it's, I didn't say anything. That was so good of me. And sometimes with sadness, I still want to say something, but I don't have the confidence to say it. So all of this happens in terms of constipated thoughts, we'll say, or feelings or emotions or experiences. So I came across a few quotations to help share this idea relating to today in our world, our society, our experience, our shared human experience. And so here's the first quotation I'd like to share with you. It says, the human body, like computers, works on GIGO principle. You know, gigs are often related to computers, right? Gigabyte. So I'll say that again. The human body, like computers, works on GIGO principle. Garbage in, garbage out. The health of your body and mind depends on what you eat, drink, and think. Eat, drink, and think. And I will tell you that since naturopathic days, certainly, and probably through childhood, many people talk about I should eat something different. I'm not eating the right foods. And many people will even talk about I'm not drinking enough water and I should drink more water. So we think about what we eat and drink, or I'm drinking too much alcohol, or I'm drinking too many fruit juices. We think about what we eat and drink. We do not think often about what we're ingesting in terms of what we're thinking. And what we're thinking is often what's in our environment. And you know that if you watch programs on TV filled with aggression, it could be aggression on the news. This is crime that actually has happened, whether across the world or right in my own neighborhood. I'm watching this crime and I'm seeing aggression. Guess what? I'm ingesting aggression. And what will come from me is aggression. So whether it's my own road rage, whether it's my own irritability with anyone that I'm around, it could be a friend or a family member, it could be in your personal life, it could be in your professional life. But what you ingest is what you're going to release from yourself too. So this is interesting that we would need to be mindful about what we are ingesting for clearing this constipation. Because again, when we think about this, when we're thinking about, oh, this is what I saw on the news, or this is what I saw about an experience. This is what I remember yesterday. My friend here was watching Judge Judy, and there was a time in my life that I really loved those shows. Really enjoyed, like whether talk shows or things like Judge Judy, and really entertaining, like half amusing and half a situation that just makes you shake your head because you think, wow, the things that people are taking to court, or oh my goodness, or did you know this detail? So we start looking at things the same as we've seen on things like this. So I would notice that, yeah, it's much easier to think it's okay to actually, I mean, that should be taken to court. Like you could go to small claims for that. You keep on watching small claims shows and you will start thinking this way in your day-to-day interaction and opinions. If you look at things that are uplifting and peaceful and happy, light, enjoyable, you will carry that energy. And this is important, that whether we're listening to music that's harsh, and we can see some teenagers might listen to music that's harsh and they don't even know that they're carrying a harshness in their mannerism. It might be the way that they walk. It could be heavy footing. It could be like fast walking. It could be anything. They don't notice that it's coming through their behavior in terms of what they're ingesting is now coming out. Or it could be all these romantic love songs and I lost this person and oh my darling is gone. All of those sorts of songs sound like really nice songs, don't they? And it's literally listened to by many of us who sometimes have lost a loving relationship. And when we're in that mode and we're taking it in, guess what? We just cry a little bit more. We just feel a little bit more. And it's like, this is so emotional. And then we give ourselves the justification of, oh, it let me release these emotions. And guess what? When I hear that song again, the exact same thing comes up. So important for us to understand, what are we ingesting and then what do we spew out? So I came across another quotation, and this one, so the last one was by Vikram Verma, and I'll write these, of course, under this video. But the next one is this quotation that I don't, it's Darren Henry. I'll have to see clearly what the writing of a signature is under this quotation, and I'll post it under when I discover who exactly has written. But it's a lovely quotation. It says, everyone is affected by three kinds of influences. Input, what you feed your mind. Remember, thinking of the mind like a computer, what you feed your mind. This is what we're watching, what we're listening to, what we're speaking about. It's what we're feeding our mind, what we're reading, what we're thinking about. This is what we're feeding our mind, whatever we continue to feed on. So I've watched a show and then I keep on thinking about it. I'm still feeding my mind the same. The associations. This is the people with whom you spend time. The people with whom you spend time. Now remember, this isn't talking about the professional associations you might belong to, though if you think about them a lot, you will find yourself thinking the thoughts that the association brings about. This is any people. So whether it's related to a professional association or not, it's who do you spend your time with. So if a person that you spend time with is really angry and irritable and frustrated, guess what? You will start being this way. And if a person is really loving and kind and gentle, you will start being this way. And this all makes sense, right? We all know this, that we actually encourage, our parents have probably encouraged us, maybe other friends have encouraged us. I don't think so good that you're hanging around with that friend and they're not really a good influence. And we say things like that. And we don't realize how much truth is in it, not only about the physical association, it's about how much we think about it. How much are we ingesting about that mannerism, that personality, that even our own judgments about that personality. So all of this low vibration energies. And then the environment, your surroundings. And this is why people can live in any beautiful place and not notice the beauty around them. And people can live in really not beautiful places and find only the beauty around them. So the environment matters. It's how we think about it is very important, because that's what we're ingesting. So if I'm living at the beach and I love it, such a beautiful potentially space, and all I can see is the garbage that's along the beach, either I can do something about it and that can make my mind feel much better that I'm doing something about something I'm seeing, or I can just take it in as this is a beautiful beach, this is a beautiful water, this is the air above me, this is the sky, these are the clouds, these are the birds. I can focus, I can choose to focus on the things that lift my mind as opposed to the complaints that many minds go into. And so, again, it's not only that you're in an ideal environment, you can be in any environment and find something beautiful to think about if we're consciously aware of doing this. So then I came across this other quotation, which I thought was very, very much similar to what I'm trying to share with you in this video. So this is a nice summary. It says, your diet is not only what you eat, it's what you watch, what you listen to, what you read, the people you hang around. Be mindful of the things you put into your body emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I wanted to add this quote in because it's by Ziglar.com, but I wanted to put this quotation in because even though it's very similar, you'll notice that the spirituality component was added in. And I love this because, I'm all about spirituality. I can say that unless we add that spiritual component, then even when I look at garbage, I can think of something spiritual coming through that. Look at how it's encouraging me to do something good. This is a spiritual blessing because it's bringing out the best in me. I can do that. You can too. You may choose not to. Then it's a conscious awareness of I'm choosing not to, and not with this irritability and frustration about that's in the back of my mind if there's so much garbage on this beach and I'm just going to watch the clouds, because what's really on your mind is that garbage on the beach then. If you can do something about it, if you can pick up even a piece, it doesn't matter. Something about this garbage is bringing out the best of me, even if it's that I can look through everything that I'm seeing and focus on only the good. And that's a beautiful, beautiful strength. It's the strength and skill of discernment. And I wish that for all of us. I also came across this next quotation, which I thought was so beautiful because, again, when we think about what are we consuming, what are we ingesting, we can see that right now the air is saturated with this idea of wanting more, no matter what. Whether someone wants more food, whether someone wants more money, whether someone wants a bigger house, a bigger car, or one more car, or a different car, or a different house, or a vacation, anything. It's about this wanting. I want more. And lots of people will say, no, I'm really happy with what I've got. But there is this constant change happening. It's okay. I don't know. Even when people are acquiring things, there can be such a huge appreciation for what is being acquired and even what is being given up. And that's a beautiful space of appreciation. Many times, the energy is the not enough energy. I don't have enough. So I'm consuming more because I need more. And most of you or many of you do know that I went through significant downsizing in the past few years. And every time I've downsized, it was really not easy to let go of things that everything that I kept was usable and functional and beautiful. And to let go of something that our heart is kind of, we'll say, attached to is not easy. And yet, there's such an awareness of, do I need this? Because, in Canada, I can say, oh, I need shoes for winter and I need shoes for summer. I need clothes for winter. I need clothes for summer. I need coats for winter and for summer. So all of that I can justify getting more because I actually need more. And then I have worn these shoes for a long time, and the event that I'm going to the exact same group of people that I'm meeting, and I better wear different shoes and they'll remember and all of that, and I remember. And this of wanting more, whether to impress myself that I have another pair of shoes, I'm okay, I've got enough shoes, or whether to make sure that there's no comment about, oh, it's the same shoes and they really liked my shoes last time, so they'll really notice I'm still wearing the same shoes. Silly, silly things, but we do this about everything. You take someone out to eat and you serve them a meal, and then you want to take them out to eat again. You take them to the same place and the same meal is served, and there's suddenly kind of this feeling of, oh, I'm sorry, it's the same place. And do you know, it loses the appreciation of that food itself and the fact that you've got the company that you wanted to when you're with someone that you're eating with. All of that, and it says, let's try a different restaurant, let's go to a different place, let's do something different, let's have coffee too, let's have dessert. Anything to be different than what you did last time. And that's okay. It is the human mind. It is movable this way. Yet at the same time, the appreciation of what is that I have enough pulls us into a different energy. So this quotation was about this thought, about what we're ingesting. And it says, you can dress up greed, but you can't stop the stench. You can dress up greed, but you can't stop the stench. Wow. I just find that so big because I wouldn't call it greed in terms of my own life experience. And my own life experience, I really believe, reflects everyone's life experience or most people's life experiences. And in terms of, I wouldn't call it greed. It's like, I get enough food to eat, right? But I notice that I can get a little bit more than I need. And in fact, I'm used to getting a little bit more than what I need. So I might plan for, in Bali, I would plan for tomorrow's supposed to be rain, or it might rain tomorrow, it's rainy season, I'll get just a little bit more, I'll just make a little bit more. And I do. And here, even more than that, and here you can know that there are places like Costco, there are places like big grocery stores, and you buy one, it costs this much, but you buy a dozen, it's much less cost per each one, and you're going to get through them. We do this. And so we get more with that justification of, well, I'll get through it anyway. So I'm already thinking of the future. I'm not getting just what I need. I'm getting just a little bit more, and that is a greed. And we can acknowledge it, and we can justify it with knowing that this is so I don't have to go grocery shopping again. Doesn't matter what we do, it's all good. That's all dressing up, and it's truth too. But it doesn't stop the stench getting more than what we need, getting more than what we need. And so I wanted to make sure that we understand this. And we also want to understand that the company that we keep, just like I've mentioned in the previous quotes, really matters. It really matters. So whether the company that we keep is the TV shows that we watch, or whether it's the company in person that we're hanging around, whether a workplace or in terms of our personal lives, it makes a difference on who we are. And we're also drawn to different groups because of who we are. And unless we're really certain about who we are, we may be drawn to groups or energies that are not lifting us. So I thought this was a beautiful quotation. I may have shared it in a different video, but this says, if you hang out with chickens, you're going to cluck. If you hang out with eagles, you're going to fly. So this is by Steve Maraboli, and it's so important that an eagles soar, they're like, and they're quite independent. They're like so caregiving. They're so eagle-eyed, literally, on finding what they need in terms of food to feed their family and care. And yet they're also about freedom. So it's all about this is the space that I'm in, and this is the space that I soar through. And so I hope that you're recognizing the space that you're soaring through, and recognizing whether you're traveling with fellow eagles or fellow chickens. And I love chickens, I love all animals, yet at the same time you understand that it is the quality of the energies that you hang around with which is what is going to flow through you. Today I encourage us all to ingest wisely, so that you will not be constipated in any way, constipated with everything that you're holding on to. And I also want you to know that in society, I better make sure I make this point in terms of how is it released from humans when we're ingesting all of this? How is it released? So when we say we're constipated, so it's held on to for a certain length of time, and if you've done this, you're holding on to all these thoughts, these concerns, these worries, this judgment, anything about others, usually not about ourselves. With ourselves, we might get into this despair, perhaps, that, oh, I can't do anything right. That could be that space. And when it's about others, and it's often about others, it's they can't do anything right. Then I move into a little bit of irritation, a little bit of anger, a little bit of frustration. And that's what I exude. I exude it. And how do I exude it? This stench, it comes from us. It comes from what we pour out of our mouths. It's what we speak. It's what we're breathing in. It's what we're breathing out. It's literally whatever we're ingesting is coming out. And this is so important to recognize that when I see things that I don't like and I choose to hang around that regularly, I start being that, unless I'm quite mindfully attentive of, I choose to be who I am. Who I am is who you are. At our deeper sense, we are all divine energy. Make sure that we all remember this and help each other and help ourselves first to help the world around us. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.